Check, check, check. Do. Check, check, check. Let me share this on my socials. Make sure we share this here. Make sure we, and then let's see here. Post this. Let me share this, y'all, before I get started. Make a tweet. Share. Kick. Blur XYZ. Blurred XYZ. There we go. All right, we're shared on the socials. Let's go ahead and get started. Edit these tags here. Sure we're good. All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. If you are new here, let me just kind of go through what I'm creating. I've been using this platform, Play Creative. Let's go ahead and pull it up here. Essentially, it is an iOS like design prototyping software that allows me to essentially bring to life from start to finish an iOS app. Really great for prototyping because they're using natural gestures, like real life interactions, native interactions, I should say, that are parallel with the actual interactions natively on iOS. So right now I had asked Lovable to whip me up an app that allows me to, instead of using comments for words or just commenting using text, it is only voice only, Instagram-ish type of app. This is just a way for me to kind of get my ideas out there, and from here I kind of take away the things I do like, I don't like, and so on and so forth from Lovable, and then I'll redesign it in Figma, and from Figma it allows me to kind of create those kind of the placements, the actual design, the pixels, where things go, and then from there I build it from scratch and play. In this case, you could use Figma to play import. They have a plugin where you could actually literally just copy and paste your elements from Figma to play, but I like to create it from scratch. It just allows me to make sure there's no hiccups. It allows me to name my layers. It allows me to go through the interactions, any states that I need to go through, so on and so forth. So in this live video, we'll be finishing up chipping away at this app and creating some new screens. The new screens I'm going to create today are the profile, the explore, and activity. We might not get through all of them today, but I just want to prepare and get those going. And then I'll go ahead and show you kind of what I have so far in play. So right now we have this heart button being filled. This was used with a conditional statement. So if I go ahead and select this heart, and you'll see the variable that I created. I created a global variable because it is going to be a variable, or just an SF icon that I'm going to use throughout the social media app. And then I set an SF symbol here within the interaction to change that SF symbol using a condition statement here. Here you'll see the variable that I labeled, and then the name of the SF icons that you can mention within play. And just like that, I'm able to create a a heart-like type of interaction to create some more realism. The other thing we've added so far is a slide up for when you press the comment section. So when you press this comment section, you are able to see all the comments that exist. I also did create a component here, which is this comments, that allows you, every time you toggle this, it does slide down with an option to either reply or to heart. So this is how you'll be able to like a comment and or reply to a comment. With that being said, we have that so far. We have the add button here. We haven't created any triggers there yet, but before I do that, I just wanted to get some other pages created. In play right now, we have about only 2 pages, y'all. We have the sheet that slides up, displaying the comments here, and then we have the actual explore homepage. So that's all we have right now. So we're going to add some more screens here. Like I said, profile, activity, explore. So let's go ahead and just get started with the explore page here. I like the layout that Lovable came up with. I'll probably add the categories up top just to make things easier for people to hurry up and kind of filter that experience. I don't like that totally on the bottom here, so we'll probably reverse this, allowing people to search probably in the center here more, so it's easier to reach, and then leaving these categories up top, so that way it's just easier to see and quicker to get to what you want to explore. So let's go ahead and get started in Figma here. We're going to create a new screen. What size screen did I use here? Let's take a look. I think I just used a 16 Pro. Oh. So we got that going. Got the 16 Pro here. And this is going to be, let's kind of make this separate. We're going to name this the Explore Home, or just, I guess we'll just give it Explore. And then we'll go back to Lovable. So I see they have trending voice categories, search for voice creators, and then the grid of all the posts that people have posted on the social media app. So let's go ahead and start with replicating this. Looking back at this, let's pull any text here to make sure that we're keeping things consistent. I just want to make sure we're aligning with similar weights and styles of text. So I'm gonna copy all the text that I have shown here, so that way I get a better idea of what size text I've been using so far. And we're going to copy this one here. Okay, so we got pretty much all the text that we've been using. Let's move this to the side. I feel like this is a lightweight, so we'll keep that to the side here. This is a regular weight, a lightweight, so we'll keep that to the side here. regular, another lightweight, and we got a medium, and a medium. So we'll keep this here. 18, 20. So this is the bigger comment, or bigger text. I'm sorry. I'm just reading what it says. Cool. We have the medium font weight, or that's the regular, and then here's the medium font weight. So in this case, we want to add a search bar, but before I do, I want to create these grids, and I want to make sure that we're using the same margin across the board here. So usually it's about 20 is like the max. 17 is great. We're going to bring this down here. Just to make sure that I am sitting in the right margin space. And then looking at Lovable, there is that navigation. So I'm going to add this navigation here that I already created. That way I get an idea of how much real estate I have here. Okie dokie. And then after that, we'll jump to, let's jump to the trending voice categories. We're going to use this text here, and we're going to change it to match this black here. And we're going to label it trending voice categories. So we'll go ahead and copy that. We're going to expand this as such. It's not going to be centered, so we can align it to the left. And here I'll need to add a what they call that toolbar up top, where all the battery and the dates are, but usually I leave about 40 pixels for that, just because I don't like designing too close to that anyways. But in this case, I know I'm not gonna need to worry about that too much. Create this a little steeper there. Okay, so trending voice categories, and then we have this icon or emoji with the name and, or the category name I should say. So we're going to keep the consistency here. The buttons are black, and we want to copy the color of this app. So in this case, because the button's dark, and we're on a white screen, we won't need to add this kind of overlay gray. Although it does stand out, I do want to create some contrast within the app. So in this case, we're going to keep the button black for consistency. It does have rounded corners, but in our app, we don't have rounded corners. So let's go ahead and pull this text here. I'm going to add an emoji. I just pull from emoji copy. I know I have it on my toolbar on my laptop, but I just like pulling from here for some reason. It's just like easier in the tab. I don't know why. So music, we'll pull that icon right there. We're gonna copy that, and we're gonna, ooh, you know what? We can't use that because it's black on black. So we're gonna need to find something else. Probably a CD would do better. CDs definitely represent music. Okay, and we're gonna label this music and audio. Music and audio. Nice. And just going to give that some space and some padding here. We have about, how much padding are we leaving? I want to say 16. Okay. So let's go ahead and do the same and match that. 16 here. All right. And it does have it stretching all the way across, so we're just going to let it do its thing here. And we're going to copy this multiple times. Looking at this though, it's very harsh. I might have to change this color. Very harsh. We'll see. The next category is going to be voice artist. Voice artist. And we'll just copy this again. Next one is going to be storytelling. Storytelling. Comedy and entertainment. Comedy and entertainment. Entertainment. And we'll do one more as it shows, which was meditation and wellness. Meditation and wellness. Cool. And then we'll add the search bar here, same exact width. But we're going to change that to match this gray right here. Let me copy this and bring it down. All right. What is this labeled here? Search for voice creators, ... All right, we're going to match that. So search for voice creators, search for voice creators, ... And we are going to change the color of this text. There we go. And we will change all these emojis in a second. I just want to get majority of this built as quick as possible. So we have a grid of 3 here. So let's go ahead and start creating this grid. How far is that really from the search? If we have a grid of 3, how much can we actually fit in this space here? Like, let's be real. Okay, so looking at how much overlap there is. You see, so in this case, looking at the width of all this, we'll just divide this by 3. Okay, so we got 368 divided by 3. 368 divided by 3. Okay, great. 122. So we'll leave space for error here. We'll do 118. That way there's a gap of what, 4. So we'll make each of these 118 width and height. We're going to drag the, I'm going to copy this. We're going to drag this across. Center this here. Oh, there you go, about 7 pixels apart. And we're just going to duplicate this to match. Let's group it here. 5, 1, 2. That should be equal here. And then we're going to do it again below 7. We're going to send these to the back. All right. So let's go ahead and change the emojis here. And fill in some images. So the emoji for music and audio can stay voice artist. So we need a microphone. That microphone is black though, which sucks. What about this one here? This is a microphone. Hold on, did it copy? You might have to reconsider these buttons. Voice artist, storytelling with the book, right? With the book, yep. So let's look up book. Is that the same emoji? Yes, it is. There we go. Comedy, entertainment. We're gonna look up that emoji. Comedy. How about mask? Is that what that? Dang, what is that emoji even called? We can find it. Where are we at here? I feel like it's over here somewhere. Where are we at, chat? Do you see it? Da, 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 da. Where are we at, chat? Do you see it? There it is. Laugh now, cry later vibes. Meditation and wellness. Like yoga or something. Yes. Copy that. All right. So we have the categories there. Let's see if we can find the search icon that we need. And keep in mind, I know the SF icon we're going to be using in Play, excuse me, is going to be different, but I am just putting this together right now just for the sake so that we have some examples. I'm going to literally screenshot every one of these, and that's how we're going to do it right now. Like, we're going to be quick with this just to build out the pixels of where things are, where they exist, so that way I can rebuild it in Play. All right. Drag that over. Drag that over. And you see they are already repeating with some images, so we'll pretty much do the same. I just took a screenshot of the same images here. Didn't realize. Let's bring this up. Drag and drop. Drag and drop. Drag and drop. Drag and drop. Drag and drop into Figma. We'll do this one here. Drag and drop. Drag and drop. And then drag and drop. All right. So now we have the explore page made. we're now going to create the activity page. So let's go ahead and do that. Let me just make sure all is good here. Hold on, I'm seeing this component. Sorry, my ADHD is kicking in. Seeing this component's a little darker. We're gonna fix that shadow real quick because it's just bothering me. I gotta jump to that. So if you go into play, that's a global component that I created. And we're gonna go in and fix that. So we have the shadow right here. We can decrease this shadow to make sure all looks good here. We don't want too much shadow. And then let's go back and see what that looks like. Yeah, it's a lot better. Cool. Sorry, that was just distracting. So now, as we jump to activity, we're gonna do the same thing. I think we should make this at least a medium. I do feel like it is a little too thin. So this is going to be our activity. And we're going to label this as medium as well. Going to delete this here. And we're going to add the voice comment sections first. We're just going to create that since we have that right here right now, which is going to be voice comments with the microphone. And we're going to copy this black here. Microphone. Copy. It has voice comments here, so any comments will load there. All right. Under that it says when someone leaves a voice comment on your post, you'll see it here. Tap to listen and engage. All right. So let's go ahead and just add that here as such. It's going to be centered. We're going to change the color of this. Be a little off gray here, just as it shows. I do feel like there's some room for this to breathe. Okay. We could definitely decrease this in size to help with text hierarchy. I like to create my text and kind of like this easy, like to focus, like in a very much cone format. It just makes it easier to read. When things are so stretched, I just feel like it's so much longer for the eyes. All right, we can decrease. I think the color is fine, but let's make sure we're aligned here. And we'll move this down a little bit. This will be a voice. This will be a group. And then here, so in play, this would technically be a wrapper. As you see when you hover, it has like this light gray that appears. So it's going to be a wrapper, an icon. If it's a heart, comment, follow, who liked it, who left a comment, and so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and copy as such. So we already have the comment kind of layout. So let's go ahead and take this and deconstruct it to the point to where it does fit. So in this case, there's text that is black and white, which is the name. So that'll of course be black, just like this. Uh-oh, gotta highlight it all. Kyle Rich. And then there's text saying liked your post 2 hours ago. We don't need this heart or this play button or this loading bar. Let me just ungroup all this here for a second. We don't need the number of likes. We do need the title, but we can grab that in a second. We do need the heart. And we should be good to go. So in this case, they have it aligned in the middle. So let's go ahead and bring this in here. Align this in the middle. We're going to create this and make it match the same color as the heart we've already made. Let's go ahead and overlap this. How much overlap is that? I think it's fine. And then the stroke, we should change that as well. 88888. Let's copy that same color there. So Kyle Rich liked your post. This text could be changed to the B888, just like this. Liked your post. And then it's going to say about 2 hours ago, which is its own 2H, which is its own text. Right. No period on that. Interesting. I like the period. I don't know, just gives it more of a this isn't all one line of text type of look. And then we're gonna grab the grid and grab the image that we've been using right now as like what we have here showing on the comment section. But let's go ahead and make sure it's the same size here. Okie dokie. So this is essentially a group and everything we need. So we're going to duplicate this. And then we will adjust as needed. So we have Alex Creative. We'll just copy that. Oof, you know what? It might be too big of text. So we need to, let's delete this so we don't do double the work here. This is what, 14? You might be able to get away with a 13 on this here. Lecture post. 2 hours ago. It's a lot better. Copy this here. How far are these apart? 24 works for me right now, just for how it looks. So let's go ahead and copy the name. And then left a voice comment on your post. And then let's just ungroup this for a second so I could grab that 2-hour time. So in this case, it is going to be 8 apart. How far is this from each other? Is 12. So we got to make sure. Let's bring that in a little bit. 170. What was that? 5? 7? So 173 should be the width. Nice. And you see here though that it kind of wraps instead of just kind of leaving an indent here. We are gonna have to, I guess, make this all one text and just wrap the name and the type of post and the time into variables, but for the sake of Figma, I will just create another line text on your post. And we're going to bring this in. 8. Okay. I'm going to make sure that all of this aligns in the center here of the icon. And we should be good. And we'll change this name here. I think we have like other people. What's the plugin I have here? Let's pull that up. Do we have it? Plugins, user profile. Insert random photo here, please. Thank you. And we're going to create another one here, which is a follow. And then we'll just create one more there. Oh, I actually clicked the wrong thing here. User profile. Insert random photo here. Okie dokie. Click this, insert photo here. Nice. So now we actually have some realistic profiles here. These little touches make a difference. Just putting the effort into making things look as real as possible. All right. The next name was Sarah Voice. I'll do the same thing. All right. And then we should be good to go on the activity side. Cool. So now that we made that, we have the profile page, which is pretty straightforward, but I'm gonna try my hardest not to just like rip Instagram so hard. And taking a look at this, I want to make sure that we are applying everything we need to apply here. So all is good. So let me just recap what I have. I created the explore page, the activity page, and now we can start building this out and play. All right. So this is going to be the explore page. Oh, sorry. Yeah, the explore page. You know what? That doesn't make sense. Technically, this is exploring, but we can name that like feed or something. But because I have explore home, this should just be like feed. That way it doesn't confuse me down the line. All right. So first things first, I do like adding a page title, good, status bar, animation. My status bar here. Nice. And I do like adding tab bar there just to make sure we see everything. Okay, nice. Cool. Everything's good here. Title page is set. Safe area bottom's good to go. All right. So what I did here is I added the tab bar up top. This is why I didn't really put too much time into this category or the name here. Play already kind of gives you that same essentially like their own component that mocks exactly what the iOS headers and nav bars would be. So this is just another, how do I say, easy way just to kind of save time here and just make sure that you're following in line with best practices. So now that I got my screen and everything ready to go on this page, I have the body and where everything needs to be. So we got a chat here. Hey, I'd love to join live stream whenever you're streaming. Add me on Discord. My Discord name is Sammy2609. I appreciate the follow, Sammy. I don't have Discord, so if you do want to keep up, follow me on YouTube, follow me on Kick. Just follow my journey as I focus on building iOS apps, websites, essentially anything with code for startups and medium-sized businesses. So yeah, let's start building this out real quick. We got about 15 minutes, so I probably want to just do the activity page, be a little easier here for me. Activity page. I'm going to do the same thing here. Nav bar, tab bar, and we're good to go. So we are going to change the color of this nav bar here, but we'll do all of that after. I just want to build it out right now. So in this case, we are going to use a vertical stack. So let's go ahead and add that here, a V stack to this body. And we could label this activity wrapper. Activity body wrapper. And this will essentially go all the way down to the nav bar. Or technically, no. Technically, it goes all the way down to the end of the screen. So what we'll do is we'll set 100% height. And that's going to allow us to, we don't want it scrolling just yet. Just yet. Okay, so we already have our header. Let's go ahead and create this wrapper, which is essentially going to be the activity feed. So like I said, we have a wrapper. It's going to be in a horizontal stack, an H stack. We'll have this profile photo right here, the name, like we said, it's going to be all one text, and then we have the image that they liked, or the post that they liked. So let's go ahead and add that H stack here, and this is going to be the activity wrapper. And this activity wrapper is 368 in width, 368 pixels, and we're going to center that to the top here, and we're going to give it, this nav bar, a margin of, probably have to add it here, activity wrapper, a margin of 26. What is the margin here? 24. 24 from the top. All right, and then here we're going to add an image. This image, why can't I find it for some reason? Wow, I had a brain fart there. This image is going to be pinned to the left, and is going to be 37 by 37. So 37 by 37, and is going to be a complete circle. So I like to just make this easier here. 40, there you go. All right, and then we are going to have the overlay, but we'll focus on that afterward. I just want to get everything in here made. And then we have the text here. So the text, there is going to be a margin to the right from that image, which is going to be 12. And then we're going to add the text. Let's add this here. Profile, icon, activity. Let's go ahead and add the text in this wrapper. Could not find that. All right, and this is where we have to center and fix the alignment here. All right, centered there, and we're essentially just gonna copy this. Likes your post. This is going to be, let's make sure we're doing this the right way here. Can we center this here? No, no centering here. And we're gonna like your post. This is where it gets a little tricky, y'all. We have to keep in mind of left a voice comment on your post. So I'm going to start with that first. So that way I already have an idea of what that text wrap looks like. And then we'll realign it after I add this post image. So this post image activity is a 38 by 38. 38 by 38. And this is pinned all the way to the right. This is pinned in the middle. So far looks good. We are going to change this text to copy the same color here and the same font weight, which is a 13 SF Pro medium. 13 medium. Okie dokie. And then we're going to create the username here, which technically, uh-oh, my light went off. My light's dead, y'all. Let's open this up. All right, so let's go ahead and pin this to the left, but we're gonna offset this enough here to make sure that we can fit in the name too. So this is the activity text, and we're gonna need the profile text. So let's add another text in here. Profile text activity. And it's essentially going to be the same thing, 13 medium, and it's going to be the same black that we've been using here. So let's make sure to match that. Enter. Sounds good. That looks creative. Alrighty. So what I'm getting here is the text will need to be in its own wrapper, simply because it is going to we need to align both of those. We need to be able to move them both as a unit and not just like create multiple, I guess, more code by individually moving them. So this is going to be the activity text wrapper. We'll drag that in here in this parent container as such. We're not going to pin this anymore, and we are going to pin this in the middle here, this wrapper, align it, and we want to center it, so there we go. And this wrapper is essentially like what, 269. So let's go ahead and make sure that's the width that it has to fit. The height is about 35. So we'll make sure to give it that height so it doesn't go crazy here. And you already see we're kind of piecing this together. And then we do need to wrap this, right? So like I said, we do need to make sure that we fit everything in here. So in this case, does Play allow you to wrap text? Do they? either way this works right now, I'm not mad at it. Again, we don't need to copy it exactly like Instagram. Add 8 here. Post 2 hours. Yeah, this needs to stay in there. I think we could even decrease this to help just make it easier on the eyes. All right. So why is this scrolling right now? That's what I want to know. Why is this scrolling? Yeah, we don't need that to scroll. Where is this text coming from? Okay, so let's go ahead and shrink the height of this. So in general, this should be about 38 pixels, this wrapper. So let's go ahead and shrink that up. Nice. We have an image here. We could just pull, I don't know, this image to match. I don't know, this image here. And then we could just duplicate this. So we'll copy. Got it. Okay, so where is there a reason why this is not aligned the right way here? Okay. Weird. So what's the difference here than what I did here? I don't understand. So yeah, I'm a little confused here. %. Align, direct it to here. I guess we just can't move it by ourselves. That is super weird. You know why? It's because it's pinned at the top. So let's take that away. Give a padding of 24 to the top. And then this already has a margin, right? Add a margin to the top. Or to the bottom, I should say. And then we're going to copy and paste this. Oh, pasted it inside its own parent container there. Did it again. Okay. There we go. So now you see that we're starting to get our activity feed to show up here. So let's go ahead and change some of these. Some of them will say Emma Music. Emma Music. Okay, and then let's go ahead and create the fourth one, and then we'll go back and create and make sure everything's dynamic after we make this wrapper right here. This is going to be another VStack. This is about 368 width as well. So let's go ahead and add that 368 width. The background of this is going to match the text. I'm gonna make that custom here. Opacity, turn it up. You know, that might be a little too harsh. It's not the same code. That hex code is totally different, dude. Okay. Well, let's lighten that up a little bit. That's weird. That was totally different colors. Maybe just how their platforms process colors differently. Now, after this, we're going to name this the voice comments banner. So, voice comments activity banner. And we need 2 pieces of text here. So, let's go ahead and paste that inside. I'm going to duplicate that. Okay. This is going to align in the middle. This is going to be centered here. Centered. Centered. Let's copy the text from Figma. Voice comments. Let's copy the text from Figma again. I think this would make more sense on this. I do see this being a different color here. Select, paste my hex code. The width of this is 302, so let's change that width to match. There we go. The margin between these two is about 13, so let's add that to this text here. Margin bottom of 13. Nice. And the padding here, this is about 122 in height. And let's find that padding size here. 22. 22. All right. 22 from the top and bottom. Might not be right there. You have to change that a little bit. Gotta change that. I think a lot to do with the size of the text. 14, 16. So let's change the size of this here, which is a medium. 14. 14. Medium. And let's just shrink this up a little bit. I told you I don't like just like one word hanging, cliff hanging on there like that. All right. And this is going to be a 16 medium SF Pro. Medium SF Pro display. 16 medium. I like it regular, keep it like that. Change this here, 22. 22. All right. Doesn't seem right to the padding side of things. Not gonna lie to you. Okay. And then we're going to create this margin here. I don't want it to be too close to these. And then activity. Let's give it some more breathing room as well. 35. Okie dokie. So we have created the activity screen. So just a little recap here, because we're ending the stream. I am going to just kind of go over what I've done today. So today I created the Explore page, the activity page in Figma, and then I translated that into Play and started building the activity page in here. Next thing we'll jump on is fixing this scrolling interaction here, making sure it doesn't scroll because it doesn't need to. There's nothing to scroll, so there shouldn't be anything kind of hanging over, as you can see here. And then after that, we're going to jump in and create the Explore page next in Play, next stream. And then we'll finally design the profile page and add that here as well. That way we could start to bring to life this kind of this feed page here. So that way we can flicker through the Explore on the nav, toggle the voice to add a post, and then go to the profile, and then we can start to bring to life these profile sections here that appear on your feed and start creating kind of like a snap kind of scroll interaction, so you can feel like you're scrolling through this app and be able to heart things, view comments, add comments, and even share. So that's what we'll be doing here down the line. Pretty fun, pretty interesting. Again, it just building and play just makes things really just simple when it comes to bringing to life any app ideas, especially now that they allow you to literally ship it to the App Store. So yeah, I would just be kind of creating that journey, showing this whole process of me creating this and shipping it to the App Store, so that way people can kind of see how easy it is, and you don't need a ton of like coding knowledge, so to speak. I'm trying to build that bridge for people who don't have that coding background and have a design background, and could build something just off their idea. So again, thank you for tuning in. If you're watching this, tune in to my next live stream. It will be part 4 of me bringing my app and building it, or bringing my app to life and building it from scratch, all the way from literally just a prompt from Lovable, designing it in Figma, bringing it to life in Play, and I'll be shipping it from Play as well. So keep an eye out for that, and I appreciate you guys watching.